Hey, what's going on, guys? CBD HD here. What's good in the hood, fellas? It's Tech Termite here. How's it hanging, fellow tech enthusiasts? It's
Tech T-Rex here.
What's poppin', yo? It's Dank Tech Review 360 here. And today for you guys, we got something very different we're gonna be doing. Today, we're gonna be taking a look at this pretty insane piece of tech. This right here is a keyboard. Yes, a keyboard. What? No, that's got to be some kind of laptop or something, right? No, this is a keyboard. Now, I am most certainly not a tech review guy. That is just so far out of what I do. I'm not really interested to ever review tech per se, but I couldn't pass up on this opportunity. This is known as the Kwumsy K3 keyboard. The guys over at Kwumsy reached out to me to see if I wanted to check this out. Now, as a disclaimer, I want to say that I get a lot of different opportunities to try out tech. The deal is usually the company will send me the tech for free, and in return I then cover the tech via a video or social media post. I have passed up on quite literally all of these, mainly because the tech in question is complete garbage. Kingdom Hearts be so AFK, this boy be doing keyboard reviews. This is the first time I've ever taken on a sponsorship like this. Now, I'm not being paid, but I did get the product for free. And the only reason why I'm doing that is because this is the most bizarre keyboard I think I have ever seen. And the main reason why it is because of the screen. There is a 13-inch 1920 by 720 60 hertz screen attached to this keyboard. And yes, the screen is even touchscreen for touchscreen enthusiasts. The screen can lie completely flat or fold upwards to 90 degrees via the unlock mechanism on the side. The screen can be displayed with either HDMI or USB Type-C. At the back of the keyboard, we've got two USB-C ports. One is dedicated to connectivity to your PC, or it can even be hooked up to a mobile phone. Two USB 3 ports. For some reason, an SD card slot. It gets a little bit crazier here because there's even an SSD slot, which is just so insanely ridiculous that a keyboard has an SSD slot. Now, I can't actually vouch how well this works running an SSD from a keyboard through USB 3 connectivity, and whether or not you get speed slowdowns by doing this, I can only imagine you probably would. Still though, if you're out of storage bay options for your PC, this is another way of getting additional storage. Now, this is a mechanical keyboard, so all of the keys can be customized, taken off, and replaced with other keys. I ended up replacing the keys it came with for the keys off of my old HyperX alloy. One thing I was impressed by with this kit is it is quite quiet in comparison to what I was using with the HyperX alloy previously. It is RGB backlit, and there is software to be able to customize the colors and functionality of the keyboard as well, though don't go into this expecting the same level of in-depth customization as something like the Razer line of keyboard offers. However, the software certainly still has everything you would want out of keyboard customization. So the first thing I should talk about is how does it actually function as a keyboard, considering that this is coming from a company that personally I, previous to them contacting me, had never heard of, and that I tend to stay away from companies that aren't really that well known, either sticking with SteelSeries, Razer, or HyperX, and taking into account that the price tag of this keyboard is pretty up there, just considering all of the additional bells and whistles that it comes with. Is this actually a decent keyboard? I've been using this for the past 4 days, and it took a little while to get used to, especially the mini form factor, as previous I was using a full-sized keyboard. I'd also been using the same keyboard for like 5 years, so this was big for me. This was a big change. And while in the past I have made it a golden rule of mine to never look towards unknown companies that don't really have much of a reputation for tech-related accessories, I'm thoroughly surprised with this. All of the key presses feel great. Nothing about the keyboard itself feels flimsy. Kwumsy have clearly used sturdy feeling materials here for the actual form factor of the keyboard itself. The only thing you have to kind of take into account is this is a huge piece of tech for a keyboard. It is a massive big square, so you'll need a dedicated space on your desk in order to make this fit. The screen is absolutely the big thing here. It's the only reason why you would want to make the purchase for this. However, it's for a very niche market. How many people are really looking for a 13-inch screen attached to their keyboard? Considering that most people probably already have dual monitor setups, why would you want something like this? One example for streamers is for monitor number 1, you're playing your game, monitor number 2, you've got your stream software, and for the keyboard, you could have the chat displayed along with additional widgets. Or for viewing streams, it's nice to have the stream itself on your main monitor and the chat and any other thing you want to do and multitask while watching a stream on the keyboard. Another thing I've actually been using it for is for any sort of walkthrough related stuff or tips or anything I need to keep in mind while I'm playing a game. I will keep down below on my keyboard where I only have to look up and down to go between playing the game and looking at any information I need to read. This is basically ultimate laze functionality. It could also be used as a shortcut bay for a whole wide range of easy accessibility, similar to the way that something like a Stream Deck works. You could get almost the same functionality out of this keyboard. Another thing I also thought of was the touch functionality of something like a Nintendo DS. For Nintendo DS emulation, having the bottom screen, which is the touch screen of DS, on the monitor so that you can actually interact with DS games via emulation the way that they were intended to on the original hardware, and the gameplay screen on monitor number 1. That's definitely a unique use of this keyboard. Now, if you want to get really crazy with it, yes, you can even game on this, because again, this is just an additional monitor. Now, why you would want to do this, I have no idea. Perhaps maybe for AFK or idle-based games, this could come in quite handy. Personally, I don't really play those. But for actual gaming, I tried both Overwatch 2 and Kingdom Hearts here, and yeah, the experience was interesting. The resolution is quite unique, coming in at 1920 by 720. For some games, like Kingdom Hearts 3 here, the resolution will stretch and it won't look that great. For most other games, like Overwatch 2 here, you will have the black bars on the sides. As again, the resolution for this screen is very unusual. The idea behind a screen like this is mainly more so for multitasking and streamlining certain tasks. Another great use of this screen could be dedicated to social medias or of course Discord. Overall though, I'm pretty impressed with this. I wasn't actually expecting the functional use of this being a keyboard, its quality to be as good as it is. Again, just being so used to well-known reputable brands, I sort of have trust issues with brands that aren't known, and something like Kwumsy doesn't exactly ring, oh yeah, I know these guys, they make some really good stuff. But yeah, this thing right here is really cool, especially with the extra functionality of having an additional smaller screen for smaller tasks and extra things that you want displayed right in front of you. My bird is super happy with this. He's now got his own dedicated TV space, which is great. Look at him, he's just lapping it up. I don't think we'll ever get to a point where screens on keyboards are like standardized. This is a very, very niche avenue of keyboard market, but handy for those who are looking for just a little bit extra screen space positioned right below their main monitor. If you're interested in picking up one of these bad boys for yourself, the link is in the description down below, and Kwumsy have kindly provided me a 15% off discount code. A big thanks to Kwumsy for sending me one of the keyboards to check out. This is definitely now going to be my main primary piece. Thanks a bunch for tuning into today's wild tech review. Be sure to subscribe to the channel to keep up with everything going on here. Check out my other social media platforms. Big thanks as always to my wonderful patrons. I hope you're all having a fantastic day, and we'll talk real soon.